Hi, Chef Ryan here. Happy New Year. It's a time for new beginnings and fresh starts and traditional meals or maybe even superstitious meals to start the new year off right. Today we've got a silky, starchy beef and rice cake soup to bring good fortune, that is tteokguk. The star of today's dish is this right here, these rice cakes for tteokguk. And they are shaped kind of like a coin here for good fortune. They're also white, which symbolizes purity and cleanliness and just starting off a new year right. So not only is this loved on New Year's Day, but really any day of the year. Let's get started building our broth. I've got 100 grams or so of chuck eye roll. You could use brisket, you could use flank, but it's gotta be beef. And I'm just gonna cut this into smaller pieces to start browning it for our broth. Chuck eye roll works well here because it has a nice meat to fat ratio. Now, traditionally, we're gonna start this by heating up our pan first. And I've got a little bit of toasted sesame oil here. Not too much. Don't worry if you get some little brown bits stuck to the bottom of the pan here. Just keep moving it. We're going to deglaze all that with some water here in just a moment. Okay, now's a good time to get 4 cups of water in here. Go 1. And just kind of stir around to get some of that, the browning on the pan up back into the broth. There we go. All right, next we're gonna get some garlic slices in there. I want you to get about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, but don't mince them. Let's just slice them here, okay? Get them, maybe each clove sliced into 8 or so slices. There we go. All of that goes in. And one more thing at this stage, and that is just a couple of twists of black pepper. Now this is a good time to mention that you want to skim off some of these impurities. You'll see this foam coming up to the top. And to get a nice clean broth, I just want you to skim those off periodically. Okay, so this has been boiling for about 5 minutes now. So we can reduce the heat down to medium and let it continue to go for about 25 minutes. Let's work on some toppings. If we gotta make this pretty because it's our first meal of the new year, I'm gonna take a few scallions here. Plenty. Next, I've got a not very spicy red chili. Just want a few slices of this as garnish. And I love this. If you haven't tried laver, seasoned seaweed sheets here, this is such a great Korean ingredient. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of mothers around Korea would call the kids to help with this part. If you take the sheets of laver and put them in a bag, hand it to the kids and say, just break it all up, then the kids would feel like they're helping out with dinner a little bit. Now, this next one, really simple. but we're gonna need an egg here, and we're gonna lightly beat that egg. And just get a pinch of salt in there. And heat up a pan. Now there's a really nice and easy way to do this. Once you got your pan really good and hot, go ahead and turn it off. Get just a tiny bit of cooking oil in there. And then take your lightly beaten egg and just spread it all around. Get a nice, thin, even layer. You'll see that it only takes a minute or two, and that egg is cooked through, and you don't have to risk burning it. We don't want any browning, so we're just gonna now roll this up on itself. Yeah. And onto the board. Now, get really nice, thin, almost like a chiffonade. Our broth is ready now. It's been 25 minutes of that kind of low simmer, kind of low boil. And now we're gonna go back to our rice cakes. Here I've got 200 grams. They're going in a larger bowl so I can just rinse them a bit. Now, if you find these in the freezer section, or if they're really, really dry, you'll want to soak them for 20 minutes before you put them in like this. But we're using fresh rice cakes, so they're just with a rinse, they're ready to go in. So that's in. I'll crank my heat up just a little bit, get that going. 2 more ingredients at this stage. I've got a ½ tablespoon of soy sauce, and this is fish sauce. We're just gonna go in with a ½ tablespoon of that as well. There we go. All right, so let's give this a little taste. Oh, that's great. But if you feel like you want more salinity, don't go to soy sauce or fish sauce now. Just go to salt so that we don't darken up that broth too much. And remember, those rice cakes are gonna soak up a lot of that water and kind of concentrate the broth as well. Keep skimming. It's only gonna take 5 to 7 minutes for these rice cakes to be completely done and ready to eat. There we go. It is time to plate this up and garnish. Here we go. Real nice, fast beef broth. The rice cakes give off a little starch, and this broth just gets nice and silky. You know, before I even knew that this was a New Year's Day tradition here, I used to eat this once a week. It was inexpensive, delicious, and just really nice comfort food on a cold day. To garnish this up, I would recommend you start with the egg. They're almost like little noodles here. All right, now let's get some laver on top of those eggs. And then our scallions. And last but not least, a few slices of red chili. Happy New Year, everybody. Here we go for good luck and good fortune. Tteokguk. such a fast beef broth, but so luxurious and silky with the starch from those rice cakes. Just beautiful. Check out how to build a bite here. A little bit of beef, a little bit of kimchi. Oh. I feel luckier already. Good luck to all you guys out there with your New Year's resolutions, and Happy New Year.